the post game to be released. So like Dawntrail right now, the post game is still being released. So like 7.2 is literally just adding stuff into the post game for people to actually play through. So the big pattern is you release a Seance. I have a pleasure to have all you with us again. You'll be happy to hear that we've taken Gir Alagiri and have already begun fortifying it as our new base of operations in the peaks. Give a shout to the lads as you pass, eh? Open the gates! Close the gates! Open the gates!
I remember how they laughed. Alliance and Resistance soldiers, eager for battle, trading jokes as we marched east towards the peaks. Beyond this last line of defenses lay the locks and the city. Breaching it would be no small feat. But we beat the Imperials back, just like that. And we liberated a village, the first of many.
As you can see, this part of the peaks is much higher than the northern reaches, hence why the Imperials built Specula Imperatoris where they did. See those three towers to the east? That's her. It sits right on the edge of the cliff, so attacking her from the north is a fool's errand. From the south, on the other hand, she's no different from any other Imperial installation. You see now why Velardina was so important, right? Important, eh? Right, then. Come along. They're waiting for us in Alagiri. Alright, to Ella. Imagine, like, every single region is just Alla something. Welcome to California, to Alavada, to Alagorian, Alaorian, Alagan, Alarigan, Alagtion. Alexis. It's Texas, but Alla. Alabama. Yeah, that one literally doesn't change. It's just Alabama. Here we are, the new base of operations for the Alliance and the Resistance. Ah, there you are. Greetings, General. I see you have been quite busy in our absence. Less than you might imagine. The Imperials flooded our coming, and we took the village without a fight. Your timing is impeccable. We are about to discuss our strategy to seize Specula Imperatoris. though we are fresh from the road, we should be glad to attend. Good. Take a moment to gather yourselves, and join us when you are ready. The first of many. Well, you heard the Flame General. Looks like we've got a meeting to attend. Yes, we've got a meeting to attend, but the very first thing that we should do once we come into here is attune ourselves to the threat. That's very important. Right, Flame General. That everyone? Then let us begin. Alagiri is ours, and for a mercy we took it without losing a single man. But we dare not grow complacent. Specula Imperatoris will not be so easily won. If I may, General, should we not pause to consider the Imperial's motivations? For Xenos to surrender a fortified settlement of strategic importance without so much as firing a shot is inexplicable. We searched the village and found no traps or any other signs of sabotage. Suspicious though it may be, I will not refuse this gift from our enemy. The path to Alamigo is through the east, through Specula Imperatoris and Castrum Albania. It bears repeating, however, that the latter is home to a massive cannon with unparalleled range and destructive power. Which means that we will need to strike Specula Imperatoris quickly, both to limit their ability to locate our forces on the field and to utilize the installation as a shield against attack, as they would doubtless not risk damaging the towers. I see. And we have no choice but to accept that which we have been given. Aye, that's the way of it. I have no doubt that Xenos has got something planned, but we'll just have to deal with it when the time comes. To the assault, then. The main host will commence a direct assault on Specula Imperatoris. During this time, I would hold scions in reserve at Alagiri to deal with any Imperial forces that may be dispatched in response. Understood. Wait a minute. Why should the fighting be done by you and the Resistance? I understand that you don't want to rely too much on Fenn after what he's been through, but at least let the rest of us do our part. She wants to fight, I say let her. Thanks. I knew you would understand. Mayhap it would be best if I accompanied you. Alizé can stay with Fenn. Oh, go if you must. The two of us can take care of ourselves. You have your orders. Dismissed. Hell yeah. Meanwhile, deep within an Imperial research facility.
Let us see. So, she lives. Impressive. Or merely lucky, though that too may prove a useful trait.
My lord, what have you done to me?
Though we Guardians are intellectually and physiologically superior in almost all respects, we lack the hereditary traits required for the reliable manipulation of ether, hence our unique inability to wield magics. This deficiency, for want of a better word, saw us subjected to decades of oppression by the lesser races, and we were eventually driven to seek shelter in the cold northern reaches of Ilsabard. Fortunately, said region was replete with vast deposits of ceruleum, which proved instrumental in the development of Magitech, a revolutionary technology conceived to compensate for our disadvantage. It was with Magitech that we grew strong, that our nation became an empire. Yet, ultimately, this was an extrinsic solution to an intrinsic problem. What I wanted was not a crude device to be used in lieu of magic. Through modification of the Garlean genome, I argued that it might be possible to enhance a subject's ability to manipulate ether, effectively empowering them to wield magics. Alas, my theories were met with consternation in the Imperial Court. Only Lord Xenos, with commendable foresight and wisdom, deigned to support my research.
You gave me this treatment, but I'm not Garlean.
Alamegan, through and through. What you have been granted is far greater than mere magic. Before that lesser light, it is as a second sun.
I am informed that Alagiri was recently occupied by the Resistance, and that an attack on Specular Imperatoris is considered imminent. This could provide an ideal opportunity to test her performance in the field.
Your skulls, was it? They have joined the garrison at the watchtower?
Yes, my lord. By your leave, I would rendezvous with them and lead a counterattack against the insurgents.
No. Even were you to leave now, you would not arrive in time. There is another duty I would entrust to you.
Found you.
What you thinking, Alizé? So full of fire and eager, weren't they? Well, it would do too. I wouldn't worry too much. They're strong and they have each other. At least she spared me the trouble of having to speak up. I wasn't about to let Lise go alone. I know, that would have been ridiculous. We have a fair bit of ground to cover, so we should split up. If you come across any Imperial soldiers, you know what to do. Oh, and just so you know, I sent word to Albanel's squadron. They are already searching the nearby areas, so we have allies in the event that we encounter anything beyond our means. Beyond our means? What do you mean? Is Xenos going to show up and be like, ho ho, it's time? Oh man, we move so slowly. Okay, I wanna figure something out real quick. Here to there. Here to the people. Okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Even at its slowest, it's ever so slightly faster, if not the same speed as this jogging, as this running. So jog is still going to be, and jog is slower than us running, so. Okay, let's look over here and see what we find. We'll look for our enemies, and then there will be a storm of blood. A Stormblood, some may say. Oh no, it's a hostile presence. Hell yeah. Okay, so we'll get over there and we'll kill a bunch of people. Be fantastic. Aha. Kongomato? Ah. And we are tuned and slightly faster. Okay. Hell yeah. Those little spindly legs walking around. Give me a moment, Sven. Say that again, if you would. No? Maintain your distance for now. Understood. Keep me appraised of any developments. That was Arvinault. The pair that was spying on us from the fringes has followed us here. What about you, Fen? Any troubles? Found some people, 2 groups, they weren't too bad. And there I was thinking we might be due for some peace and quiet. Glad to hear you dealt with them. I hope the assault on Specula Imperatoris is going well. Yeah, me too.
Come now, father. You lured the fool onto my blade, and do not try to deny it.
Our work here is all but done. What of Conrad and his men?
They are for the main tower. The skulls have offered fierce resistance thus far, but Conrad seems to believe he can convince them to lay down their arms.
Then we will tend to the stragglers down below. With me!
Report.
Enemy forces have overrun the lower facilities and appear to be mounting an assault on the main tower. We have already received a request for reinforcements. A unit of legionaries has been mustered and is ready to depart. They await your orders, Commander.
Stand down.
Commander?
Tell them to stand down.
Commander, if I may, our people, your people are still in there. They will be slaughtered.
You think I don't know that? I want nothing more than to help them. To lead the bloody charge. But I have my orders. Lord Xenos said no reinforcements. He would have us use the main cannon to destroy the installation.
What? Kill our own soldiers? You must be mistaken.
Mayhap you'd like to ask Lord Xenos yourself. I thought not. Initiate the firing sequence. Wars are won on the backs of the dead. Theirs and ours. There is no truth but this. We must remain firm and resolute and always, always do our duty. Now, give the order.
Initiate firing sequence.
Aye, aye. Initiating firing sequence. Release safety locks. Deploy main cannon.
Ransford, Rudolph, Emlyn. For us. For our people. For our future.
I need you to confirm the target, Commander.
Specula Imperatoris, main tower. Fire when ready.
Seven hells!
Long-range artillery.
Those treacherous bastards! Their people were still fighting! Full retreat! Now! Relay the orders!
Understood. All forces retreat! I repeat, all forces retreat!
By the 12, did you see that? The main tower just collapsed. You heard it too, didn't you? Must have been the cannon at Castrum Albania. But that was an Imperial installation and the troops were still... Damn it, no one's responding. I don't know if the shell is being jammed or... We have to go right now. We have to help. This way. There's no time to lose. So... that lady was getting something very similar to the Echo. So is it that the Garleans are discovering a way to make a sort of pseudo-echo? It's worse than it looks. He probably wasn't even... Pull yourself together. The gate. This is our way inside. We need to find my brother. Right? Now. The locks on the massive gate appear to have been disabled. You need only prise them open to pass through. Before Light walks up, rips the gates off their hinges. I'm glad you're here, Finn. In case it wasn't obvious, the Imperials fired on us, on Specula Imperatoris. Didn't think they had it in them, to kill their own men just to kill us. Gods damn them all. Where's my brother? Tell me where he is. I want to see him. He was in the tower when it was struck, but that need not mean anything. Our forces are still evacuating, and many remain unaccounted for. Alizé, listen. There are soldiers wounded and dying all around us. Soldiers with families, just like you and me. They need our help. Do you understand? He's right. I'll take the north, you take the east. Now listen to me, Alizé. This is an MSQ quest, so you can't actually use healing magic on them. All we can do is aid them by going. For a moment there, I thought it was bound for Thol's great halls. Ye gods, what were the Imperials thinking? Thank you. I think I can manage on my own. At a pedage. By the spirits. By the maelstrom. Just give me a moment to let the world stop spinning, would you? There. Allegary's not far. I'll make it. That's the spirit. He's not moving. This is Let me move his head. Like the bottom half is just missing. Well, the other half. Ugh, everything hurts. I think I was struck by debris from the tower. Wait, I know you. Fen Muir, of House Fortin. We fought together in the Steps of Faith. You saved my life back then, and now. I can walk. Thank you. 1,000 times. Thank you. Conrad! Conrad, can you hear me? Nago, can you hear me? It's just Lise.
Conrad! Conrad, speak to me!
It was all so sudden. Conrad had just convinced the last few skulls to surrender when we heard the bang and everything started to shake. We carried the survivors to safety, but Conrad's... We have done what we can for him. All that remains is to pray.
Conrad?
Is that you, Lise? I can't see a damn thing. Well, that's that then. Time's up.
What are you talking about? You'll be on your feet before you know it.
It's all right, Lise. I've lived long enough. But listen, I want you to lead the resistance in my stead.
Don't say another word. You'll recover. We'll recover. We'll bring freedom to Alamigo together. We're not going to stop here.
No, you won't. Everything we've built, everyone we've brought together, I know you'll show them the way. You've got it in you, Lise. Not because you're Curtis's daughter or Ida's sister, but because you're you. Because you're you.
Conrad.
Lead them to victory. To freedom.
I will, Conrad. I will. I promise.
Meanwhile, in the chaos of Castronovania.
Next round, double the charge!
Come, Nidhogg. We are needed.
That's the cerulean pipeline!
Impossible! How can one man... Shoot the bastard! Shoot him!
My lance has slain far greater beasts. You're welcome, boy.
Notify all units! I want that intruder found! And get the engineers to fix my bloody cannon! The savages are coming!
Okay. Alpha now. We could have killed them. We could have walked away. But instead we tried to convince them to lay down their arms. We tried to seek a peaceful resolution. We showed them mercy. This was their response. Fire and blood. This was their answer. Such crimes cannot go unpunished. They must not. Gods as my witness, there will be a reckoning. Forgive me. Now is not the time for vows of vengeance. We must needs remain calm and rational and in control. The Imperials have demonstrated a willingness to fire on their own. So long as we remain here, we are in danger. We three will see to Commander Kemp's body. Find my sister and return to Alagiri. There, that should suffice for now. Go on and join the others. Tell me you found Alpha now. Tell me he's alright. Yeah, he's swearing oaths of vengeance against the Empire. Oh, thank the 12. I don't know what I would have done. Though, saying that, what will the Resistance do without Commander Kemp? Sorry, not here, not now. We should return to Alagiri. Keep an eye out for any wounded who need our help on the way. David has just been like, let me in! Let me in! Best part was that he began right at the beginning of that voice acted cutscene. Say hello to everyone watching. You go, everyone. This is my cat, David. See? He's waving. He's just like, what are you doing? He's so confused. You guys probably can't hear him, but he's purring right now. He's very happy. I gotta put, we're gonna get back to you. Yeah. Go in your box? I got a box for him. Okay. 1 second. I don't know if you guys can hear the hammering out there. Someone's having a pool put in. Pools are horrible, by the way. So why are pools horrible? Well, you have to clean them a lot. You have to take care of them. And this takes a lot longer than you think it does. Wounded Imperial, eh? It wasn't so long I was trying to kill you and yours. I've expected that you were about to slit my throat. To hell's with this. I should go back home to Ilsabard instead of taking fire from my so-called comrades. I agree. You should probably not fight for the Imperials. Imperials are kind of jerks. Thanks, friend. Bloody tourniquet came loose and I was having trouble getting it back on. Should be fine the rest of the way. Tourniquets suck, by the way. Like, whenever I talk to, like, medics and stuff about tourniquets, like, literally it's, you have, like, an artery or something is bleeding like crazy, and you just need to, like in a leg or something, and you just need to put a tourniquet around it to stop the bleeding. The problem is that you now just stop blood to the rest of the limb, you know, like the leg or the arm or something. So you really need to get that off as soon as possible, and probably not be walking on that limb. Oh, bless you, kind. Wait, is that you, Finn? I didn't recognize you at first. Feeling a bit dizzy. Must have lost a lot of blood. I can keep going. I can keep going. Falls over. Passes out, carrying the rest of the way. So when you look at like actual militaries and stuff, most units are considered completely gassed at about 50% casualties. So there's this thing called attrition that shows up in warfare, and attrition is just how much ammo have you spent, like how much of your ammunition is in reserve, how many defensive plates do you have left. So like ceramic armor is fantastic, it stops almost everything. However, ceramic armor is also only good for about one bullet that breaks it. So you might be able to take a bunch of hits from stuff that's of a certain caliber, but once it actually gets a crack in it, that it's better than nothing, but you really want to swap it out with a different ceramic armor. Ideally you don't get shot at all, but that's not realistic. So attrition is just you're spending ammo, your troops are getting exhausted, they're getting lots of PTSD, believe it or not, weapons do have a number of shots that they can use before they need to be maintained. So you like your weapons, effectively their durability, but you know, it's not necessarily that. And you have to take care of all this stuff. You have to take care of your soldiers' mental states. You have to give them food and provisions. Food is heavy. Water is heavy. Ammunition for your heavy guns is heavy. Right? So forth and so forth and so forth. Morale drops too low, people start defecting, or they start just going AWOL and abandoning their posts. That kind of thing. And so whenever it comes to wounds, when someone gets wounded on the battlefield, they are considered a casualty. And that lowers your unit's combat effectiveness. At 50% casualties, for every one completely unharmed soldier, or member of the infantry, or what have you, they are essentially carrying somebody who is wounded, or helping them move. So this is a huge problem. So most nations that actually care about their troops, at about 50% casualties, the unit is considered completely disabled. Maybe even higher than just 50%. Because we typically want to bring bodies back too. If someone dies out on the field, we want to give them a proper burial, not just leave them there like some countries. But yeah, it's a thing. So, yeah, in other words, those people should not have been on their own. They should have been at least with one other person. But a tourniquet is basically, I want you to imagine that you got shot in the wrist. And like, effectively this artery is now open, and you got shot and it ruptured that artery. Well, you have some time, but you don't have a lot of time. So you take a tourniquet, hopefully a metal one, not those crappy plastic ones, and you part it over your arm, probably up here somewhere, and you start tying it down. Maybe lower, I'm not sure. You start tying it down. Well, there's going to come a point where this hurts like hell. That's kind of required. And so you keep turning it, and it hurts like absolute hell. And because this is 2 bones, you might have to do it up here, because this is just 1 bone. It might actually just break these, I'm not sure. Or break one of these. So yeah, this is 2 bones. This part up here that you can feel on your wrist, you can turn your wrist, you can feel them moving inside, because 1 bone attaches here, and I think 1 bone attaches here, and the other bone attaches over here. And so when it's like, when your arm is facing like this, the bones are sort of lining up, but when you turn, the bones are twisting. So they're going from like this to that, I guess? I don't know. But when you put a tourniquet on, you have to really tighten it down so blood flow stops. And what that means is that now everything beneath that is basically suffocating. The cells in your body can suffocate for a while, but if you leave that tourniquet on for too long, the arms gotta go. Like, the legs gotta go. Now, if you capture somebody and they're a terrible person and you absolutely hate them and they absolutely need to die, you put a tourniquet around their neck and you just, don't do that. Don't do that. But, yeah, it's a thing. Okay, Alpha now. What you got? Then, we've given over Commander Kemp's remains for safekeeping. Later, I have no idea when, rites must be performed. For now, however, we must carry on, my wayward son. As Kemp would have told us, we must press forward. We must not give in to despair. All Alliance and Resistance units have now withdrawn from Specula Imperatoris. It is time we spoke with General Aldin. General? These deaths weigh heavy on my soul. Commander Kemp's most of all. He was a wise leader. He was a patriot. But above all, he was a good man who will be sorely missed. One of many lost this day. I ask for a moment's silence to pray for the souls of the departed. We have suffered a grievous defeat, but we cannot and will not renounce this cause. The die has been cast. Hold tight to this grief, this anger, and let it drive you forward. Let it be your strength and your shield when next we face the enemy. It will carry us far, General. Of that I have no doubt. Ere we take another step towards El Amigo, however, we must first address the question of how to deal with Castrum Albania's cannon. If the Imperials are willing to employ the weapon without thought of their own soldiers' safety, we may struggle to approach them. A frontal assault is out of the question. We'd lose countless men before we even reach the walls. Would we? Recall that the Imperials could have obliterated our forces had they kept firing, but neglected to do so. They had no strategic reason to cease fire, which begs the question, why did they? You suspect they were unable to fire the cannon again? Mayhap due to a malfunction? Or one of their officers found his conscience after the first barrage? Or hitherto unknown resistance faction chose this moment to disable it. There are many possibilities, but the fact remains that they stopped when logic dictated that they continue. Then I'll just have to go and see for myself if that cannon is still operational. Are you mad? Conrad put you in charge of the Resistance. You can't risk losing another commander so soon. I know how you feel, Nago. I do, but I need you to understand. It wasn't long after Papalimo and I arrived at Relga's Reach that Conrad first asked me to join the Resistance. Then he kept on asking. Every time I said no, I told myself it was because of the Scions. But even then, I knew deep down that it was an excuse. That I was still afraid of following my heart, because I couldn't be sure if it was for me or for Ida. But then I met someone on the other side of the world who had struggled with the same worries. And as we traveled together and fought together, I saw him grow and become a leader of his people, become the leader his people needed him to be. And now it's my turn to do the same. There's not a lot of us left, and the ones that are, many are still wounded. We have to make do with what we've got, and the best qualified. It's as simple as that. But don't worry, Nago. I'll come back, I promise. While I acknowledge Commander Hex's right to carry out this mission, I see no reason why she should do it alone. Fen, would you go with her? Would have done it anyway. Then it's settled. We will await your return. Alright, at least hexed. Sorry to drag you into this, Fen. It may not be the decision Conrad would have made, but I'm not Conrad. I never will be. I don't know what kind of leader he was hoping for, but right now, all I can do is be myself. If you don't mind, I'd rather not wait around until If you don't mind, I'd rather not wait around and have people try to talk to me out of it. Let's get moving. I know a good vantage point overlooking the castrum. Nyoncraft's Hope. The ship stranded on the rocks to the east of here. It shouldn't take us long to get there. Oh, but there might be some ancient golems guarding it. Or that might have just been an old wives' tale. Either way, it's worth the risk. Elise, Commander, I pray you proceed with all due caution. Do not hesitate to call on us if needed. To reach the ship, we'll have to scale the cliff face. I'll get some climbing gear and meet you there, alright? Ah, okay. Guess we can take this one. Is that a purple chocobo? Or do I get one?